Hello folks, Gabor here, and I am reporting again from Sopron because yesterday I realized after uploading the video that I had actually forgotten an anniversary, because yesterday it was the first anniversary of my last day in Toastmasters, and today is the first anniversary of my first day without Toastmasters. So that's about it. And yeah, it's interesting that the topic public speaking came up, that I have become a private speaker instead of being a public speaker. This is what has come up, and I want to think back on what I was, well, maybe not doing, but how the space cleaned or cleared after I have left Toastmasters. Because Toastmasters, it has been a really important part of my life. I have dedicated an immense amount of effort for Toastmasters and of course for improving myself in Toastmasters. Now looking back, I don't miss it too much. And I think there are two reasons for that. First is that I really left time to go through the steps of letting Toastmasters go. So after quitting Toastmasters, that I wasn't a member anymore, I was still going to the meetings, and these going to the meetings has become less and less frequent. So I can conclude that this way of letting things go is really working well, extremely well, so that I'm not rushing anymore. I'm just leaving time for everything. I used to be this sort of person, well, I still am this sort of person that just rages easily when things end, right? I'm not really a person that rages a lot, but I just go into rage and then things end, because I just really collect and gather all the small pieces of resentment until it becomes like a tsunami, like "Ugh!" And then people are like, what the fuck? Like they don't really see this process, because tsunami builds up, right? And it just stays underwater until it's right at the beach, right? And then it's within a few minutes erases everything. And this is me, definitely. So now it's the ending of the relationship with Toastmasters. It did start with a tsunami, but then after this devastating effect, I actually try to clean the ruins and make it as clean as possible, right? To really end the relationship without causing hard feelings to myself, because this process hurt me a lot also, and I needed to acknowledge that, and also hurt other people. So it's a lose-lose situation. Clearly, I didn't want to go with it anymore, and it was a good lesson for the future, that letting things go like this, step by step, leaving enough time for the relationship to end, is a really, really amazing way, in a sense that I like it a lot. Then I wanted to say the second reason. The second reason is that I didn't really want to be in Toastmasters anymore, and that's another thing that I needed to acknowledge, is that instead of staying in a relationship that I don't want to be in, I need to end it. And it was super clear for me, because I didn't feel good anymore. I gave a lot of effort to Toastmasters, and I needed to go. It was obvious to me, 100% clear. Why? Because the environment was not good for me, and I didn't agree with the goals of Toastmasters. And it was also my fault because I was quite cynical in a sense that I wanted to learn public speaking, but I thought that Toastmasters is a quite lame organization with quite lame people. My pride level was, yeah, you don't see my hand anymore, right? So it's like, that's where my pride level was and above. So yeah, like I just thought that I'm better than anyone else, and it didn't really pair up with skills, at least at the beginning, no. And what did I want to say with this? Yeah, like I was basically an asshole. On the other hand, I was an asshole that cared a lot. I cared a lot for the people and for the club that I was in, and that was also clear that I did care about people a lot. I was mentoring people, and fulfilling goals in Toastmasters was important for me because that's how I felt better with myself. Well, at least for a while, for a really short while, but it motivated me. I mean that like after finishing a goal, this good feeling stopped really fast. So I just went for the next goal, and it's like a vicious circle. Yeah, it didn't give me much in terms of fulfillment. It gave me a lot when it comes to skills. That's where I improved a lot. Leadership skills and public speaking skills. I learned shitloads. There was this one lady that I met in where was it? In Forum. There is this really cool place in Krakow called Forum, not Forum Romanum, but Forum Przestrzenie. In this place, I met a lady. There, the place was full, and I had a big table just for myself. And they asked me so that they came. They sat down to my table. I was doing my stuff over there, preparing for a speech or something like that. Then we started speaking. Then I told them that I'm a public speaker, etc. And then she said that, oh, she does public speaking and training for people in a big corporation. And like if I want the real thing, I should come to her because it's really easy to work, to lead people that are in a non-profit organization, because in a non-profit organization, people are motivated. And I was like, dude, we are in fucking Poland. I mean, okay, it's I don't want to be mean, right? It's true for the whole region. Still, I mean to Poland because I think it's a well-deserved thing that people are using non-profit organizations only for their narcissistic reasons in Poland and also in the eastern side of Hungary, meaning just like me, that I wanted to gain a skill, but it's not really true for most of the people, that they didn't really give a shit about people or the organization or the club. They just came, took what they wanted, and left. That was it. Like really Machiavellistic way of thinking. And most of the people didn't seem to have a problem with this within Toastmasters, I mean. So anyway, I was talking to this lady, and I was like, what the fuck, like I just cut the conversation short, and I was just thinking to myself that, yeah, and I also told her that, like what motivates people in these countries, Eastern Europe, not just Eastern Europe, other countries also, is money. Like you can throw, like you can push down all sort of shit on the throat of people if you pay them enough. That's a sad reality, and I also needed to face that people actually want this. They are creating this reality. They complain shitloads because they don't like it, but they want it, definitely. So anyway, what is my point? My point is that I didn't want to be in such an environment, even if it's a non-profit organization. In big corporations, I expected. In NGOs, I didn't expect it. So this is something that I needed to face, that if people come to non-profit organizations and they are mainly from corporations, they are just going to act the same fucking way they act in corporations. That is, taking skills, taking anything that help them to create more or make more money, and that's about it. That's it. And I am just done with this world. And I couldn't really articulate it that time, but this is one of the main reasons that I was done with Toastmasters as well, is that it was like a non-profit corporation. That's what Toastmasters is. Gives you amazing skills, that's right, but kills your soul, just like corporations do. So I needed to leave. One thing that is still not done yet is that I was hoping that people keep in touch with me more. So even if I made it clear that I end things, I thought that people maybe appreciated me more. You know, like all these things that I said before, I guess it's a foolish thing, but you know, it's still like a sad feeling inside of me that like people, yeah, from Toastmasters didn't give a fuck about me when I left. I'm laughing, but I really want to cry. That's what it is. Apart from about 5 people. So kudos to those. Thank you very much. Those 5 people approximately who asked me how I am, how I'm doing, etc. from Toastmasters. Thank you very much. But the rest, they just don't give a shit. Or at least if they do, they don't let me know. Which is pretty much the same in my mind. So yeah, there is that. And that's something that I need to cope with. But anyway, the signs were there, so I have done this to myself. I learned from it that, you know, if I want to be with people that care about me, that care about the cause, that care about the environment that they are in, then I need to what do I need to do? Look for the signs, right? So because the signs are there straight from the beginning. If I'm not willfully blind, I can see that this place is not for me. I feel that this place is not for me, and I get the fuck out and look for something else. Yeah, so that's a valuable lesson. It still hurts. It still hurts because I have done a lot for Toastmasters, also for myself. I've done a lot for a lot of people. And there were people who tagged me for that, but the majority just don't give a fuck, man. Just don't give a fuck. Yeah, it is what it is. The point is, I do give a fuck, and I want to be in a place where there are people who care, right? Who care and are mature enough to appreciate other people. And I was not such a person. I see that. I was not such a person that appreciated care, and I didn't appreciate people who care either. So that's something that I needed to face within myself. And I'm still coping. I'm still coping. Yeah. But I give some time for it. Yeah, I have all the time in the world. And then once I'm finished with the coping, I will go for something more. Until then, I will need to do a lot of just honesty, non-bullshit honesty with myself, so that I can really cut the things, cut everything that is not needed anymore, so that I can really have a clean slate for something new. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. yeah, so all in all, it's good that I finished with Toastmasters. There is still some emotional damage in me after the process has finished. I'll give time for that to heal, and then I go for new waters. So thanks, Toastmasters. Also, fuck you, Toastmasters. And I learned my lesson. So all in all, it was good. The thanks is much bigger than the fuck you. That's all about it now. Cheers, folks. Ciao, ciao.